My name is. I'm called Agent Nicomedes, and I joined the squad of pretenders several months ago. And I had an interesting experience when Professor Sparko. He's actually behind the camera right now, but he's feeling a bit camera shy. He feels that the world just isn't ready to see his true form as a 6.5 foot tall slug from space. Sorry, from the planet Cistern. No, nobody really comes from space. The professor, he's my teacher, and another one of his students is her name's Say. She's from the planet Tutu, and Say has so much to learn because in order to become a pretender, an extraterrestrial in disguise as a human, you need to know human customs, the economy, the technology, their science, what they know, everything. So in order to blend in, like Sparko has, I have a translator implanted in order to understand the other, some of the other pretenders. Sparko, let's just say he's really old, a couple centuries old. And if you're a couple centuries old, you have, a decade or so to devote to one kind of art, one kind of science, a language, you use all the time you have. And Sparko has taught himself English and several other human languages as well as other extraterrestrial languages. Let's say and I were much younger, and so of course I've always been living on Earth. So he thought I could show Say around, show her how to live as an Earthling, because it's my native thing. And now I understand why landlords don't allow pets. Because now I'm wondering, maybe Sparko just maybe wanted to get Say off his hands for just a little while, because she brought her pet Golnil. I might have just butchered that word. The Tutunians, they communicate with their antennas, and their antennas can make certain frequencies and vibrations that the human vocal cords can't do. So, oh gosh, Fip, that's Tutunian for friend, pal, buddy. Okay, her pet Gunil, which she has raised from an egg, so she can get pretty defensive of him because she raised him. According to Sparko, they can be reliable companions, like a dog. They're trained to track, and they're used to help with gathering. There's a sort of Tutunian mushroom, like a truffle. They can sniff those out with their antennae, right? And dig them up. But Fip is the only Golnil I've actually run into, and he's a pain in the neck, to say the least. One day I came back home from work, and I had left early that morning. Say was up early. It was maybe 5 when I got up and got ready and left at to open the coffee shop at 6. And Say was there because in the planet Tutu only has 14 hours in a day. So that's her biological clock. She just gets up early because that's just her normal waking hours. And she's stirring a pot of it's turnips, mint leaves, and I think cranberries or strawberries. It's the same chemical composition as the plants from her planet when they're mixed that way. Anyways, I come back home. The turnip mash is like the pot had been overturned. Say wasn't there. She had swatched back into the station, I guess, to see Sparkle about something. Fip had been asleep, but he had woken up, and I just see something shiny on the floor. I go over and look at it, and the little runt chewed up my Bluetooth speaker. I mean, I can't listen to it because the translator implant, like I can't really listen to music anymore because there's certain sounds, frequencies, like that actually cause the little wire in there to heat up, and it's just too painful. But it's too bad. I used to like show tunes. Uh, yeah, it was still an expensive device. I paid like $50 for it, and Say still owes me for it because in her planet, or at least in the East where she's from, they don't have currency. They trade everything. So she doesn't even know anything about paying someone back for property damage. Like actually buying them a new speaker, or at least giving them the money for it, the $50 for it, because and she's just usually ready to defend Fip because she raised him from an egg, and that's like her baby or something. It's like, I don't care. He had his collar on. Turned out he wasn't anywhere in sight. We were looking all over for him, all over my apartment for him. And turns out he had gone down the laundry chute into the basement. So it's a good thing he was wearing his collar. So anybody who looked at him just saw a hyperactive dog, a rat-sized, yappy little dog. So we were able to catch him, which was difficult. Those things can jump like fleas. Golden jump like fleas, and I couldn't catch it. I wasn't able to catch it. Say had to get him down from. I mean, there he is on the floor. No, and then he's on top of the fridge in the next moment. So yeah, I mean that's just not acceptable behavior for a dog. Never mind an animal from a different planet. So I just told Sparko, hey, I'm willing to help Say learn about Earth. I'm willing to show her around and teach her how to blend in, to be, to be a better pretender. But I'm not gonna let her keep her Golnyu here because that thing's a destructive force of nature. Chew up the Bluetooth speaker. It chews up everything. They're gnawing animals, so anything that's I mean this chair here has bite marks all over it. So yeah, that was interesting. It really was interesting. It was exciting. I mean, Say is a really fiery character, which is not really a characteristic of Eastern Teutonians. Usually the ones from the south are more fiery, but I think she's got the genes for that. So, she knows a little bit of basic combat, which has to be practiced at the station because there's just no room here for that. It's easy to knock stuff over with that pole staff. Well, she practices with a pole. Yeah, so it's been an adventure. That's for sure. It has been.